Stick your smile on now because we're live. Right? Super. We are going live. It is 4:15 on a lovely wacky Wednesday afternoon at my sewing room, and Sandy is here with you today for our Wacky Wednesday fun time. So we're just going to give everybody maybe a second or two to get online if they're coming online. But meanwhile, let's thank it was Tyler and Chelsea who set us up today with our cameras and everything. And I found out a new little camera trick from Leah, so I can toggle that corner off so you don't see me getting dressed all the time. So that's fantastic. Anyways, there they are. Hi Sandy, hi Tina, hi Anne. They're coming online. Awesome. All my buddies. That is so wonderful. And I hope it's nice out in Sudbury, and it's kind of cold here. I hope it's warmer at your place. Anyways, we've been having spring-like weather, which means, you know, we have snowplows. Hi, Chris. Yeah, don't you just love dinosaurs? I love them. And Loanne's online. Great, you guys are awesome. All right, so starting off our Wacky Wednesday, it's just little old me, Sandy, here at my sewing room. And I want to do a nice shout out and a thank you to all the people who watch us so just devotedly on both Facebook and YouTube. And we've got Facebook followers and YouTube watchers. It's absolutely fantastic. And thanks for all the people who stop by the store and give us a nod and say, oh, we saw you, and it was lots of fun. Anyway, so shout out to my girls and guys: Denise B, Carol G, Nicola P, Betty M, Loanne F, Neil B, Phyllis M, Ann P-L, and of course, yo, Adrian, Teresa S, Sandy A, of course, Tina B, Rose L and Anne, her mom, Billy P, Teresa W, Ann S, Rose and her sister Nikki, Donna H from Lethbridge, of course, Glenda and Mike, Mary Z, and our very own Gwen MCN, and of course, big shout out, aloha to Jean and Maui Jim, and to Cam and Betty, Betty and Mark, Debbie and Glenn, and of course, Nancy and Riley, our Fern, and of course, now I've got some new people to mention on here: John, who we sang to last week, Kason, and Tyler. Absolutely. And Chelsea too. Thanks so much for getting us set up. Thanks for watching us. Thanks for following us. It's absolutely wonderful. So I have a very special day planned today. It's called Sew Like a Rock Star. And I'll just need 1 minute to get myself dressed. Okay. So you guys watch this while I get going. Oh, it's hard. Okay, no good, no good. No. Okay, we're only half dressed, but that's close enough. Let's get back to the front. With no glasses on, it's really hard to see. All right, corner picture back on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my sewing room, where we are going to sew like rock stars. Woo! And I have a absolutely Thrilled to have you watching. You know, this is the last stop on our So Like a Rock Star tour. So we're going to give the best performance ever today. Are you ready? Let's hear it from you. Woo! All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have to take my glasses off so I can see. Are you ready? Are you ready? Ooh. Okay, so much for that thimble. Leah, you're a girl. Make a big noise. Playing in the dirt. Gonna be a geologist someday. You got mud on your face. Your heavenly grace. Leaving your rocks all over the place. And I'm singing, we will rock you. We will rock you. Rock you. All right! Michael! Woo! Well, I'm so glad that you showed up for our performance today, and I have a special guest. And you might have guessed, it's Leah. So we're talking expert rock person. You got it. We have asked the best person possible to come to our show today, and I'm going to quiz her. I'm going to ask her the down low questions that everybody wants to know. So hold your horses. Well, we welcome Leah, the rock expert.
Oh dear.
Oops, my butt's squished.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
This party's too wild.
It's a little while. Ooh,
It's a little wild.
All right, and here we are at my sewing room for Sewing Like a Rock Star. So Leah, I'm going to pull up my chair.
Yeah.
Let's have a conversation.
I love it. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, you know, I got to say that I was going to plan on doing a rock star show, and Leah said, oh, I got to be involved.
I misunderstood the directions.
Yeah.
She meant rock and roll, and when I hear rocks, that's not what I think about.
It may not be what we had in mind, but it's what we got.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Okay, just to start us off, I got to tell you, what do you call two carbons in a relationship?
I don't know.
Carbon dating. All right, Leah, everybody wants to know, when did your love affair with rocks begin?
When did my love affair with rocks begin? I'll be honest, I was very young in Calgary, and my mom was great at taking me to the library. It was probably 4 or 5 years old. We found volcano books.
Ooh.
So for a little while, all we took out of the library when I was 4 or 5, 6 was volcano books. And I think my mom took out every kids level geoscience type book in the Calgary Public Library system.
Well, let's give a hand to Leah's mom because she encouraged her in
She
her
totally
dream.
did. She totally did. Mom was awesome. Mom is awesome.
She is fantastic. Let's hear it for the moms. Okay. All right. So Leah, I gotta know. Because what life choices did you make? Because you started out as a rock person, and now you're here sewing with us.
So how did I get
here?
here?
How did I get here?
So through a series of life choices, back in high school, I was pretty sure what I wanted to do. Long-term game plan career-wise, when I was, junior high school level, I wanted to be a volcanologist. So my very favorite type of rocks are igneous. Volcanoes are fascinating. Kind of the game plan all along was to go the geoscience route, either do like seismic engineering kind of things, or like more like true volcanology and go hike up and down mountains that are blowing up.
I have to ask a question.
Yeah.
What exactly does a volcanologist do?
Study volcanoes.
Just wanted to check that out. So, do you go? Would they like go up to an actual active volcano and peer into the depths?
Well, depending how active. Volcanologists aren't known for their long lifespans because they have a very dangerous line of work. Most volcanology type positions out in the world are like university-based research kind of things where you're just monitoring the same mountain or volcanic system for a long time. Maybe comparing ones in like Hawaii to something like Mount Etna or mountains. And
So how old were you when Mount St. Helens blew up way back in the 80s?
I was not here yet. I was not here yet.
So, I just,
I'm younger than that.
she's really young, and she's here with the old fossils. Anyways,
You guys are fossils.
I remember the big blow up, and there was a lot of ash. Yeah. It was really bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fascinating geology.
Yeah.
But, very, very explosive. There's lots of moisture from the oceanic crust dipping under the North American craton, and it's full of water, and then water goes kaboom when it's under pressure.
Fascinating. Holy crap. So why did the tectonic plates break up?
I don't know.
Because there was friction between them. A little pressure too, obviously. Okay, so you started out thinking about volcanology.
Yeah, so the only route into volcanology is to either do an undergraduate degree in geology or geophysics, depending which side of things you want to look at, whether you actually want to like go lick all the rocks, which would be geology, or like actually picking them up, hitting them with a hammer, I really love math. So I went the geophysics route, which is more things like seismology. Seismics is pretty common in oil and gas. I was thinking maybe I'd do oil and gas if I did do volcanology, but lots of like the physics of rocks. So are they magnetic? How dense are they? How porous are they? So I did my undergrad at U of A in geophysics.
Fantastic.
Which was a lot of math, a lot of physics, a lot of geology, and a lot of fun. Like absolutely fascinating.
I can take it from me. She knows a lot of math. Not only that, but she makes a really great quilter because I believe some of those skills are interchangeable.
Yes. Yeah, and I'm really happy I don't have to do like third year calculus to do quilting. I stopped losing interest at that point.
Believe me, if she had to, she could. All right.
It would take a while.
So now you're up in U of A.
Yeah, so after I did my undergrad, and when I finished in a really odd year in geophysics, because normally geophysics is a very, very small graduating class of like 3 to 4 students.
Oh, so you really get to know each other.
Yeah, we were in a much bigger class. This was kind of at the height of oil, 2007, 2008, when I was finishing up, and we had a graduating class of 13.
Wow.
So there's only so many jobs in oil and gas, which is kind of the other route that I could have taken. And at that point, I was not feeling like doing more school. So went out looking for work, and I didn't get hired in the first round of hiring down in Calgary for geophysics at a seismic or oil company.
Yeah.
So then I started looking more broadly at what else I could do. Met some guys from industry that were working in hard rock mining, early stage exploration up in Yellowknife, and got hired up into Yellowknife.
Isn't that exciting though?
Yeah. So my first day flying to work in Yellowknife, we flew over Great Slave Lake and it was frozen, and I was like, what in the world have I got myself into?
Yeah,
And then I snowshoed for 3 weeks in May.
Yeah, okay. Oh, yes, I think that's probably a little chilly up there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, well, okay. All right, so you're up in Yellowknife.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
what happens?
I worked for a few years out of the Yellowknife office, and the company I was working for at the time had offices in both Alaska, Whitehorse, and Yellowknife.
It's cool. Did you get to go to the other places as well?
I did. Yeah.
Excellent.
So along the way, I've worked in all 3 territories: Alaska, BC, Alberta, and all like way north. I've been pretty much on the Arctic coast and all the way as far east as Hudson's Bay.
Amazing.
Geographic center of Canada, if you're interested, is a lovely place called Baker Lake.
How cool!
Baker Lake is not much of a destination.
No.
It's very much the end of many, many journeys on planes.
My friend Sheena, who does the sampling with me, was up in Baker Lake. One of her kids was born up there. So yeah, she could probably attest to that.
Yeah.
Okay, so here you are on all the hot spots in Canada. Yeah. So
how did I get to a quilt shop?
Okay, so now there's a little bit of a journey, I think.
So in the mix of all this, Sean, who's now my husband, him and I were
Always
both
a man.
we're both working for the same company, working on a project in Alaska together. And when you live in a camp type situation, it's like speed dating. We find out very, very, very quickly if you could live with somebody long term. And he was just like the sweetest guy ever, and pretty good coworker, and we bonded over nerdy music while we data processed at the end of the day. So that turned from I kind of like you as a coworker to I really like you to I moved in with him about a year later.
You've heard of the movie Romancing the Stone? That's our Leah. She romanced the stone.
You find out very quickly if you can live with somebody.
Well, I would think so up there. Pretty tight quarters, and not all
Yeah.
the amenities that we have here.
Yeah, and people living in camp situations are usually at their worst. So you also find out the best in people.
That's true. It does. It will bring out the best or the worst.
Yeah.
So why was the geologist considered changing his profession?
I don't know.
Because he'd hit rock bottom. All right. So here you are in the frozen north with a husband. Then what happened, Leah?
Then we had kids.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have
show and tell.
I have a
Show
little
and
bit of
tell.
show and tell.
Love show and tell.
So when a geologist and, well, we're both technically geophysicists. When two geophysicists have a baby, what you get is a Geo Baby.
Oh my goodness.
So-
Isn't that sweet? Look at that.
One of my good friends made this for me
Oh.
for Miss Little Sarah.
Oh, and how old is Sarah now, girl?
She'll be 11 next month.
11. Double digit girl. Right?
Ooh,
Yeah.
terrifying.
All right. So we had Sarah.
So we had Sarah,
Okay.
and I continued to work doing a little bit of geophysics in between Sarah and Eli, but my kids are 15 months apart. And in the mix of all that, Sean was still doing geophysics up there, and then that was like 2012. Gold prices hit rock bottom. There was like nothing happening in hard rock geology, and we had two kids under the age of 2.
Yeah.
So
Big decision
we
coming.
abandoned ship in Whitehorse,
Mm-hmm.
and Sean started looking for work in Calgary, because at that point oil and gas was still quite stable,
Yes.
and his skills are transferable, and this way we could be closer to my extended family.
I think that's a marvelous thing, because you know what it led to? It led to Leah coming through our doors. And it, not only that, but I remember her coming and working nights with us. That was her first thing,
Yeah.
because she had kids. So, yeah.
So when we first moved to Calgary, I needed to be working part-time. Just we really couldn't afford to not have me working at that point, and we figured out a way to have me work and Sean work and not pay childcare. Which, if you pay childcare in Alberta, you know what that's like.
Yeah.
So I was working evenings and weekends when I started at the store,
Mhm.
and that was just about 9 years ago. Like,
That's
it is
amazing
flo-
that that's going
it is
that
flown
fast.
by.
It's been really fun. It's been a great ride. So I know that partway through that, I remember Leah saying, I need more of a challenge. And, working with fossils on the floor is all right, but, she needed more of a challenge. So what happened next, Leah?
So I'd been here about 8 months or 9 months, and Anna and Michael were looking for a new service tech. So in that time frame, kids got a little bit older, we were a little more settled, and I thought about going back to geophysics, geology. Wasn't thrilled about going back to kind of full-time commitment and full-time hours and evenings and weekends and all the other things that happen in exploration.
It's very hard on you.
And so I asked if I could give teching a try. And turns out I don't mind reading manuals.
Which is
And
good. Yeah.
I'm willing to put in all the hard work to learn stuff. So learning how machines worked was fascinating, and being able to learn all the different aspects of machines kept the super nerdy brain in my head occupied. So here we are. I've teched, manage our service department here at the store now. Moved into education along the way to give Anna a hand with her classes. Now I teach a whole bunch, do a bunch of other things. So despite the fact that there's very few rocks at work, every day I learn stuff, and it's been really, really, really enjoyable. So My husband still does geophysics. I still get my fingers. I get to look over his head at maps, and because he works from home, so I get to peek.
You get to everyone's
but I don't
home.
get the pressure of being in that environment.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
And
we learn something from you every day. I mean, I've taken classes from Leah, so I can attest how good a teacher she is. And I still, to this day, can now oil and change my own needles. So I think she's done a marvelous job. Absolutely marvelous job.
Billy says sometimes customers bring me rocks for identification. It's true.
Yeah, they have, do they?
Yep.
Oh well, you see, it's wonderful having all those skills.
I don't always have my rocks and mineral guide at work though.
But for today
some
she has
some
her
days
books.
I do.
Yeah, that's
some
right.
days I do.
Yes, that's right. So I just, because you have done a lot of embroidery for us, and the one that really stands out in my mind is the one that's hanging on our wall out front, which is
The really gigantic
periodic
periodic table.
It's awesome. Tell us about that one.
So the periodic table, we have a great big embroidered periodic table. It is bed-sized. It is one of 2 that I've made because the first one was so fun I had to do another.
Yeah.
Chemistry, like the root of everything and the root of all our elements in our rocks, it all comes back down to the periodic table. But it's pretty rare that we come across something that is so super nerdy in the embroidery world. So I jumped all over that when Anne saw the design at Quilt Market, and I was like, I'll make the sample.
Yeah.
I'll make the sample. But yeah, it's accurate, and it was fun to embroider.
It brings the people in and they stare at that and they go, oh my God, how that would be so perfect, because my friend is a teacher. He does chemistry, or it's an engineer, or it's a geologist or a geophysicist. And so it's garnered a lot of attention. And I must say, it's a beautiful piece. You did a wonderful job on that.
So
That's
just so you're aware, the blocks come in 2 sizes. The smaller one's hanging in the store. The bigger one hangs all the way to the floor on my queen size bed.
That's amazing.
On both sides. It is the heaviest quilt I've ever made, and
fantastic.
if I get momentum in the night when I roll over, there's no blanket left for the other Sean, unless the cat's laying on the bed.
Speaking of where things sleep, so where do rocks sleep?
I don't know where rocks sleep.
In bedrock.
If I could remember a punchline to save my life, I love geology jokes.
They're quite humorous, very, very funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, so now there's one other thing that I think we should share with everyone, and that's how Pi Day came about.
How did Pi Day come about? Well, Pi Day's been a thing in nerdy math circles for a long time. So Pi Day is the numbers of pi. 3.1415926 would be the first bunch of digits. Long before I met Sean, broken up after a long-term relationship in university, told all my friends, I'm like, whoever I marry will think it's a great idea to get married on Pi Day. Like, this is my one stipulation for marriage.
Pi Day. Yep.
So I found Sean lurking in the woods in Alaska, working with him. So we joke that this is how nerds find each other is you go hiking in the woods in Alaska and
you find one.
you find an appropriate nerd. But he was willing to get married on Pi Day. So
And they did.
Yeah.
You did. March
14th,
2015,
9:26 in the morning.
9:26 in the morning. We just think it's hilarious because we remember.
I'm the only one who gets anniversary treats at work.
So every anniversary, we wish her happy anniversary and bring her a pie.
Not that we don't all like pie.
But
it's just an excuse to eat pie.
That's right. We love pie.
Yeah.
We love pie. And this year, unfortunately, it fell on a Monday and not all of us were in the stores. So we were kind of lamenting the fact that we hadn't had a pie day this year. So we went and got pie and had it on April 1st.
Yeah.
That was our joke. We had pie day.
Is good any day of the year.
It's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful.
Hey, I do remember one joke.
A joke. Oh, she's got a joke.
I got
okay,
one.
Okay.
I got one. I only remember one.
Okay.
What happens when a biologist has an accident at work?
I don't know. What happens when a biologist...
Something like a pandemic.
A pandemic.
What happens when a chemist has an accident at work?
I don't know. Big explosions? Like, oh, okay. So now you're going to tell me what happens when...
What happens when a geologist has an accident at work?
I'm not sure.
Rock on Table becomes rock on floor.
And we will rock on, babies, rock on. That's right. All right. Well, just speaking of rocks, so what happened to the rock after continuous hours of interrogation?
I don't know.
It cracked.
All that pressure.
All that pressure.
Faulted.
And why was the rock acquitted of the crime?
I don't know.
Because he had a rock solid alibi. Yes. Oh my goodness. Okay, so now you have another interest, which is lining our wall at the back.
So the real reason this is here, and the real reason that every time I get to look at fabric and maybe help pick fabric when we have a fabric rep in the store, it's really hard to find really science nerd fabric. It's not common. We've had the odd collection with math through the years, but my go-to the rest of the time, as far as nerd pick in the back corner of the room saying, we should get that one, we should get that one. Yeah. Mostly it comes from lots of times there's volcanoes in the background.
And they are. We've got some awesome. And dinosaurs.
Secretly, I just want fabric with volcanoes.
Look at it. Look at way high in the side.
Dinosaur fabric is that one thing that every time I see it on the books that we could maybe order, I'm like, we should have dinosaur fabric.
I think it's wonderful because you don't know how many little people that you are inspiring when they come in and see this fabric and whatnot and think, oh, dinosaurs, wouldn't that be cool to study dinosaurs?
Yeah,
and it is. It's cool to see dinosaurs.
And admittedly, most of my career stuff was more metamorphic, igneous, not soft rock where you'd find fossils. It just wasn't what I ended up in. But it's like dinosaurs are a gateway to geology.
Yes. You find them everywhere, especially the Tiro Museum.
Yeah, so much fun.
Best place ever.
And watching all the recreations of continental drift and everything, so much fun. And watching where Alberta went through the years.
That's amazing.
So much fun.
Leah has a wonderful book, and I got to point this out because I didn't realize that this was a book that was available, but it's all Alberta.
It was a textbook for one of my university courses.
It's amazing. It's the story of what's underneath Alberta, and I think that's a fabulous
no
thing.
idea where you'd find it, but it was published in Alberta.
Yep, just absolutely amazing. I thought it was amazing anyways, but
do you have a flip through it?
I haven't had a chance. I just looked at the outside and I saw that thing that's round and it's got
an ammonite.
An ammonite.
Yeah.
And isn't that our new rock, is an ammonite?
I think
Did we
so.
set that as an yeah, they're beautiful. And the ones that I've seen in the museums and things, they're absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, it's amazing what rock can become, or what animals in a rock can become.
Yeah.
More fossil talk.
More fossil talk?
Yeah.
I think the coolest thing in Alberta is the ankylosaur that was found in one of the
Pits.
Yeah, up northern Alberta.
Cool.
Yeah.
And we have our own dinosaur, Albertosaurus.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. So I think it's absolutely amazing. And I love going through Drumheller and looking at the hoodoos and seeing things and just thinking, maybe I might stumble on a dinosaur fossil. Wouldn't that be cool? And maybe I'll find a new species and they could name it after me.
The Sandysaurus?
Sandysaurus.
I like that.
Yeah. She would have really weird hair. But, you know, I think that would
the
be
hair
so
doesn't
cool.
usually get preserved, though. Which
Yeah,
is
that's unfortunate. But, you know, they could extrapolate in fact that maybe it was blue skinned or something.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, really cool. So, so Leah's now been with us how many years?
9 years in June.
9 years in June. Isn't that amazing? 9 years in June. The time sure flies, doesn't it?
It does.
Absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's great. And thank you for being such a patient person and agreeing to be grilled.
I was
Put under the pressure.
Somebody said I could bring rocks to work today. I was in.
Yeah,
there's like 30 pounds of rocks with me. They're not all in the display.
No, so I put the most beautiful ones I thought were on.
Oh,
display.
we could show
Can
off
we
some
show
of my
some
fun
rocks.
ones.
These are gorgeous.
Not that this has anything to do with the dinosaur fabric behind us.
But these are beautiful. This was one of my faves.
So I'm just gonna
Okay, you
switch
got to
to-
tell us what they are, though. Okay.
So this big chunk of galena, this is probably from the Yukon. There's a couple lead zinc mines up in the Yukon. So that's galena. It's super pretty. I have to admit, I didn't buy this rock. This is a banded iron formation.
It's beautiful. You can't, this camera's not doing it justice, but it is. It's absolutely, there you go. You can see the striations in it, and it's really absolutely beautiful.
So when I went looking for rocks at home to bring for today, this one was not where I thought it was, and then I remembered why I keep this one where I keep it. This is one of the rocks I use as a pattern weight. So this lives on my cutting table.
So who said there wasn't rocks in quilting?
The more iron in your rocks, the heavier they are, and the better they make pattern weights. And this one's not dusty.
Perfect.
So
it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I'm not sure what that was.
I don't know. This is probably one of the many rocks that I carted around the summer I backpacked through Italy. It's probably from Mount Etna.
That's really cool.
So that'd be a igneous rock.
Okay, what's this guy?
This is a very porous igneous rock.
Okay, where did that come from?
Mount Etna.
Mount Etna. So Mount Etna is missing a couple rocks, but I'm sure it has plenty to spare.
Yeah, not the friendliest thing to carry around when you're backpacking.
No. No. Okay.
But anyway.
No. Yes, you trudge through with 60 pounds of rock on your back.
I wish I could remember where all of these were from. This just has some really, really lovely, this would be a sedimentary rock. Some really lovely banding in it, striping, usually from annual deposition changes. You get different deposition in high water seasons than you do in low water seasons.
Oh,
it's kind of like tree rings where you can date things by their stripes.
Is that ever cool?
Because you get different...
Sorry, I'm leaving feathers on you.
That's okay. I'm going to leave rock dust all over you.
Okay. Now this one is not a rock.
No, this is a piece of petrified wood.
That is really cool.
If I could remember where my rock collection is combined with Sean's. So some of these are not mine.
They might
originally.
be his. Well, and then she brought us a lovely kit. It's called the Mo Hardness Collection. So if you're answering a Jeopardy question and how they figure out how hard rocks are, it's called the Mo scale.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you need those two pieces.
No. So softest would be something like talc weight number. They're not in order today. Who's been in here? This is a problem. I think my kids have touched this one. But rocks go from soft to hard. So really soft ones you can scratch with your fingernail. Really hard ones will scratch glass.
Oh, okay. That's why you have
something
a piece
like
of glass in there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sweet.
So that's kind of in every geologist's toolkit. We have at least 2 to 3 of these at home.
Okay. I think that's really cool. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, so that you can figure out what rocks you have.
I like it. I like it. Okay. So one last question.
Mm-hmm.
Why was the limestone? I find out that the limestone is, never mind. Anyways, but
tell the joke.
Why was the limestone arrested?
I don't know.
For basalt and battery. And then I find out the limestone is a basalt. So
no, limestone and basalt's not usually nearby.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, that's why they had a fight.
Limestone is sedimentary. Basalt is igneous.
They kind of cross paths and didn't do so well.
You probably have some really great metamorphic stuff happening in between from the heat.
That's too cool. And you know what? That takes us to what do a rock order in a bar?
I don't know.
Soda on the rocks. Well, it could have anything on the rocks, but we're keeping this clean. So there you go. All right. Oh, wow. Okay, so I want to thank you very much for coming on the show today and showing off
about rocks.
all your rocks. And so, Leah's a very interesting person, and I know most of us don't get a chance to talk all that much at work because we're always so busy ansering questions or doing something else. So.
And embroidery questions to answer.
And so this is kind of different. And as I say, this was not the route that I was heading in, but that's the route that we went in. So you know what? It's awesome. I think it's absolutely awesome because we can sew like rock stars.
We can sew like rock
That's
stars.
right.
And from an interest standpoint, without somebody like my husband doing geophysics and early stage exploration, we wouldn't have computer chips in our machines. They take rare earth elements that all stem from some tiny little mine somewhere in the world. So
isn't that wonderful?
So if you want sewing machines with electronics in them, they're going to have computer chips. Yep. They will have had a geologist in the mix at some point.
And we wouldn't be here today doing this for you because we wouldn't have all of the technology that we have without the geologists. And as my husband always said, you either mine it or you grow it. there isn't any other places it comes from. So yeah. That's
if I could figure out how to grow fun rocks,
Yep.
well,
Yeah.
we've grown crystals.
I was going to say grow crystal. Okay, come on. I've grown those chia pets.
Yeah. Grow my garden.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's wonderful. All right, so we're going to wrap up with a few announcements today. I've got a few, and I don't know if Leah wants to add a few, but just remember that we're doing the Viewers Challenge, the April baskets. And I know I got really carried away with those last week, but wouldn't the Dinosaur Fabrics make wonderful baskets for kidlets?
And then you could carry your rock collection home.
Yes. Yes, you could even put a handle on that basket if you wanted to.
You need a very strong handle if your kids are going to carry rocks.
Yep. So just a strap all the way around the bottom and up, right?
Yeah. Maybe a pair of straps.
Pair of straps, yeah.
Underneath the bottom.
Anyways, don't forget that Viewers Challenge. Don't forget to send in your pictures or bring them to us. We'll take a picture. But they go to social, SOCIAL, social@mysewingroom.ca. And Kason will take magnificent care of your photo.
Yeah, and it'll get posted early next month.
Yep, it'd be awesome. I've already sent in 2 photos.
I have not made any baskets.
Okay, that's because I got crazy though.
That's okay.
Okay. All right, just a couple of reminders. This week, Friday, the 22nd and the 29th, we have One Stitch at a Time. Barb's class is carrying on again for the next 2 Fridays in April from 2 till 3:30 p.m. And also, I'm so excited about this one. Friday, April 29th, it's the Kimberbell a la carte, and they are doing the flamingo bench, buddy.
Oh, it is such a ridiculously cute project.
So sweet.
So cute.
All the staff have their little USB sticks in the back in the box. I mean, some people have grandchildren to put things on. I just think they're so darn cute. I could put them everywhere. Yeah. They are the cutest little flamingos. So anyways, that class goes from 10 to 11:30. 11:45 to 1:15, we have the nautical hoops. So those are ones that are done in the small rings. Yeah. And they have, well, nautical themes on them. I think there's an anchor, and I can't remember.
There's
what
a
else.
boat.
There's a boat. Okay, so it's nautical, like sailing. Anyways, those classes are $15 plus tax, and if you want to do both, that's $30 plus tax. Those you can watch virtually, but you need to bring your USB stick in to us, and we need it by Thursday of next week so that we can get them to Chelsea, who's been kind enough to update everybody's sticks for us. So that's wonderful. Coming up next Friday. And then April is over.
Right? Like, how in the world did that happen?
It's gone.
So, I lost April 2014, and life has gone by very quickly ever since then.
It's just, what happened to April?
If I knew what happened to April 2014, I would tell you.
She wouldn't be sitting here. She might be somewhere else. You never know.
I don't know what happened that month, but I remember it going by very quickly and being like, what?
It was a life choice decision. It was like, All right. So then we're into May. And may I remind you that May the 4th be with you.
And it happens on a Wednesday.
Woohoo! Just putting it out there, just saying that something fun might be happening that day. Yeah. Anyways, we do have the Bernina Free Motion Skill Builder. This time it's the ruler work, and that is on the Wednesday, May 4th. It goes from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's $75 plus tax. You can do it virtually.
And there's a kit that's coming with that class fee.
Yes.
So and there's a little giftie from Bernina Canada.
Yeah. Oh, good. Great. And for those people who haven't picked up their gifties from last time, I put them in the whole box with your name on them. There's 2 people that we didn't have gifties for at the moment, but those are probably coming in this box. So I will call you when they come in, and I will call you when the kits arrive. There are 3 people on my list that are shippies, so I will get, as soon as I get them, I'll let you know, and I'll get them shipped to you. Okay, so that's coming up May the 4th. Be with you. And you need a ruler foot for this. So if you don't have a ruler foot, you need to get one. For Bernina's, it's 72 and 72S.
Unless you're on the Q series.
73, right?
Nope. Q series is 96.
96, sorry. And then there's another one with the basket, which you can't do ruler work. Never mind. No. Never mind that one. Can't do ruler work. Yeah. So, and for anyone else who's got another machine, for our brothers, it's the... Westerly foot, and that you need to know whether you have a low shank or a high shank on your machine so that we get the right foot for you. Okay, so that's for that. Also coming up that week on Thursday, it's the Brother Cottage Getaway. This one is going to be the journal cover, and it goes for 2 Thursdays, May 5th and 12th. It's $50 plus tax, and that one yeah, just you guys call, sign up. We'll get you in there. You'll have some fun, okay? Because that's one. Leanna and Leah.
I'm just moderating.
She's moderating.
Leanna's teaching. She's great. She's a Brother Canada educator.
She's the solid rock. She's just rocking it solidly there. Okay. Anyways, those are my upcoming messages for the next couple of weeks.
I have one for the beginning of June.
Oh, sweet. What's
June 1st, we have Kimberbell Red, White, and Barbecue.
Yes.
And I will need to finalize kit numbers for that middle of next week to get kits here in time for anybody that I need to ship them to.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun. I already had
an oven mitt.
Yeah, and an apron.
Just the two things.
It's oven mitt and apron. It's a one-dayer.
Kind of like 3/4 of a day.
Yeah, and I'll be here doing something. And I'll be doing Facebook that day, so I'll catch you up on whatever's happening as well.
Yeah.
But we're already, there we go. We already signed up. All of us as the staff have already signed up for that one, so we're gonna do that.
It's great.
So we're all signed up for that one as well.
Lots of Kimberbell's very cutesy and very, I would call it feminine, and this one is not.
No.
So if you need a Father's Day gift.
Perfect idea.
Yeah.
That's what got us thinking about it, especially with the little sayings that are cute on the apron and on the glove, right? So
yeah.
I think it's fun.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I'm very excited.
So that's our big Kimberbell event coming up. So that's wonderful. So make sure, please give us a call at the store or drop by, get signed in, and we'll make sure that you get everything you need for that class. And remember, for the Kimberbell ones, if you spend the $100, you get the bonus CD. And I've seen the bonus CD, and it's so cute.
It's ridiculous.
It's so I've already started thinking about what I need. I've made a list of what I'm going to purchase. So I'm excited. Very excited. I'm just so happy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's our show for Wacky Wednesday today, and next week it's Shirley and Sandy Lock Holmes back with another exciting tale from their show. What's it called? It's the Case Book of Sandy Lock Holmes.
Sweet. So
So they'll be back next week. So any other final words? I think we're good here.
I think we're good.
Yeah. Well, and thank you very much for
Thanks.
coming.
It was fun.
It was fun. I'm glad. Poor Leah, this time of the year is very hard on Leah because she has allergies, and right at the moment she's without her allergy drugs. So I heard her sneezing in class this morning. So, and she's a little stuffy, but thank you for persevering and staying with us.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I got to talk about rocks.
she's so much fun.
Huge nerd.
But that's a good thing.
That
is a really good thing. Especially
me being a huge nerd means I want to learn everything, and everything I want to learn is potentially something I could teach. So
and she's a girl. Not that I want to spout all the feminist stuff, but girls.
Women can do anything.
We can. We're awesome.
Yep.
We are rock stars.
Totally.